We have onions, celery, and peppers. The Holy Trinity. That's what they call it in Louisiana. Today we're using green onions because we wanted the additional color and the flavor that comes all the way through that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Get a little oil in the pan and a pat of butter. We're going to just soften these up just a little bit to put in the salmon so they're partially cooked. We use the raw salmon, of course, so it's going to have to cook a little while. So we want to get these browned out. Here we go. All right, that's about all we need. We're just going to take these. We just wanted to soften up these veggies a little bit. We'll take them off the fire and let those cool down. We don't want them hot to put them in that salmon. Hi, fellas. Grandpa Greenwald, old man with a pan. Today we're going to make some salmon cakes, some salmon patties, and we're going to bake them in the oven. Kind of a special day today that we're filming our 500th video. We've been at this, about 2.5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that, but we're filming our 500th video, and we're gonna cook our salmon cakes, or salmon patties, or salmon croquettes, whatever you want to call them. You call them like you want. We're gonna cook it in a 100-year-old pan, a 125-year-old pan. This is our GF Gilly that was made between 1860 and 1895. It has the gate marks on the back. We're gonna cook some salmon patties down in there. I think we're gonna have a little bit of overflow. We're gonna use our gate mark golf ball pan, and that'll be our overflow for our cake. So we're gonna get started here. We're gonna use fresh salmon. We're gonna take the skin off of this. We're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna use some fresh salmon to make these cakes. So let's get started. Boom. Alrighty then, the first thing we're gonna do, the second thing we're gonna do, first of all, I'll put a little video clip in there, but we sauteed some veggies, some green onions, bell peppers, and celery. So we just sauteed them down just to soften them up a little bit, and we added a little bit of salt to that. But that's what we're going to add to our patties when we get this meat chopped up. So the second thing we need to do is go ahead and get this. We have the skin on the back side of this salmon, so we don't want the skin. We're going to go ahead and take that skin off. So I'm just going to get right down here and bring it down. It makes no difference where we start at. We're going to end up pulling it off the bone there. So did that, and just drag your knife. We'll show you again real slowly there. I went a little bit too quick that first time, but see how that pulled it all the way down to the top of the skin. If you want to get a little bit more of that, you can do that also. Okay, so that's what's left when you're done with the salmon piece. Let's start again, and I'm going to start down here on this thin end so you can kind of get an idea. All we're doing is going down to when you feel the skin, and we're going to turn our knife sideways, so just drag it along, and boom. If you mess it up, you go back and you cut it again. So then I'll come back and take this little piece off of this side. Again, you can start anywhere you want on these. Go down to the skin, turn your knife, and drag it along. And you're pulling the meat right off of or the fish right off of the skin. Yeah, hey, you just filleted a fish. How about that? That's exactly how we fillet fish. Okay. And again, we don't have to be real careful here because we have second shots at that. We don't care what it looks like because we're gonna chop it up. Okay, there's our fish, and I thought I had a bag here. I'll just set that down throw that down in the sink there. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is clean up the backside of that. You don't have to do this, but some of this darker meat that was along the skin, I kind of don't like that. So I don't know that I don't like it. We have plenty of salmon. We don't need to save something that doesn't look quite as appealing as it should. Okay. So you tidy up your salmon, make it look like you want it to look. If you got something that's not looking right, just trim it off. And some people even go in and they'll take this little piece of vein out of the back of it when they're filleting fish. So again, nice pretty piece of fish there. Okay. Now this is kind of new to me. I've cooked fish, I've filleted fish, I've caught fish. Kind of new to me. I've never chopped up fish before. So I'm just gonna cut it in smaller pieces. I did watch a couple videos on people turning salmon into, or fresh salmon into chopped salmon. So we're gonna chop this salmon. We're gonna try to chop this salmon. So let's start with that. We got the main fillets over here. Let's see if we can be successful. Let's see if we can be successful. I don't have a meat cleaver either. That's what I really need. Cool. And again, if you see something in here, they had a couple little darker pieces. I don't know why I'm setting those on the side, but I'm setting those on the side. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. We have just chopped salmon. It's almost like thinner, a little bit thinner than chili meat. I think that'll be perfectly fine. We might take her out and chop her some more. We got a lot of chopping to do, so we'll leave that there. Let me rinse again and get a nice little bread bowl to put it in. How about that? Woo! I'm tasting it already. Salmon cakes on a Sunday morning. So if you ever chopped fish like this before to make salmon cakes or anything else, leave me a note in the comments. Leave me a note down there. So I did that before, Dave. Look at that. Looking really good. I was kind of thinking we had a lot of fish here. And we're making a lot of, I think we have a total of 3 pounds of salmon. So that's going to be quite a bit. And what I'll do, I'll take these individual portions. We're making the individual pieces, and I'll package those, and I'll be eating these for several days. I think unless they're that good, and then I'm finishing them today. We'll see how good they come out. But I'm suspecting they come out yummy, yummy, yummy using canned salmon. Oh yeah, they're gonna have to be really good using the fresh. All right, let's put this baby together here. Where do we want to start? I want to start with these vegetables. I want to start with these veggies, and since we're kind of developing, I'm not following precisely with anybody else's recipe. So if I'm developing my own recipe, I want to have something to go by. So let's zero out. We have our cup zeroed out. Let's see how many grams of veggies we're going to put in here. We have lots of meat, or lots of fish. So I'm going to go ahead and put all we got in there. And I did taste it. It's delicious. Really, really, really delicious. But what can you get with the peppers, onions, and celery? We got 130 grams. 130 grams of veggies in. Okay. I said it out loud, I don't have to write it down. So we'll go ahead and dump our 130 grams of veggies in. Here's my stick. Use this one here. I'm going to put 1 egg, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in a nappy first. So we're not dumping a bad egg in. And all right, we got 1 egg. Good, 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 good. We're finished with the scale right now. We had cooked veggies. I didn't put the garlic in. We want that garlic flavor to burst right out of the patty at it. So I'm going to take this one is a 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. So we have 130 grams, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, and 1 egg. Not too bad. Not too hard to remember what we had in there. Garlic powder. Why? Let's not put any garlic powder in there. Let's go straight to the black pepper. We need to have some black pepper. And again, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Wow, that's a lot of black pepper, but we're gonna taste it. It's gonna be yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So now we come to the panko. We gotta have a little bit of panko. I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons to start with, and these are just plain breadcrumbs. And we may add a little bit more. All right, let's mix it up and see what we got. We got to get that egg distributed down in there. Holy moly. This is looking good. Smelling good. I have no way, I can't taste it. I'm used to being able to taste it and see what the texture is like. I can't taste this raw fish. Well, I guess I could, it's salmon. It's not too bad, but yummy, yummy, yummy. Let's go ahead and put another tablespoon in there. Firm it up a little bit more. This whole bowl is just smelling edible just right now. So you just want to start shoveling it in. Oh, I think that's like perfect. That's a perfect. Look at the coloring in there with the peppers. So I intentionally cut the peppers small. I wanted them small because this needs to hold together. If you get big old chunks of peppers, it's not, it's just the peppers and onions and veggies. It's just going to want to kind of fall apart. And you've probably seen that. Seen that with meatloaf sometimes. Sometimes when you put things in it, it distracts from the holding together. All righty. Golly! And we're going to refrigerate this baby a couple hours. So I was all excited about eating, and I forgot we need to let these seasonings gel and come together. Yummy, 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 get in my tummy in a few hours. It's been an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half. Let me leave this one on there. So we've been sitting in the fridge an hour and a half. The spices have been gelling, absorbing into the salmon. And I want to kind of get a feel. Do something else. Let's experiment a little bit. I'm gonna use this big old scoop, and I'm gonna put. Well, look at that baby down there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it just like that. I don't think that's too much. Don't think that's too much. I'm not sure about the amount of moisture in the fish itself, but I've never had fish overflow anything. So let's just go ahead and let's do that. I'll try to cook it with a pan underneath it. Look at this. Look how beautiful that's coming out. Nice, 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 nice. How's that for fish patties? For salmon patties. Don't even have to get your hands down in there. And we'll mash them down a little bit. Get out of here, fly. I'm going to push them in the cup. They're sticking together. That's all I can do. I'm not molding them with my hand. We kind of grabbed them with the scoop. So that gave them a little bit of a press. Wow, looking good. Looking good. Let's do this. And just put a little of the Panko, the breadcrumbs on top of it. So we'll have something in there to brown. That'll be okay. Boy, there's a lot of salmon, but all right, let's see what we do with this little scoop. I was kind of thinking that would be perfect with for these golf balls. Let's see what we can do with those. There you go. I might, this is an experiment. We're checking out the 125-year-old pans. Checking out the seasoning on those, checking out the cooking, what they're going to do, how they're going to bake these. It's going to be interesting. See what comes out of this. This little golf ball pan, these patties are kind of small, but that's okay. They're just bite-sized morsels. Yummy, yummy, yummy. They can all get in my tummy. All right, we're ready to put these babies in the oven. 400 degrees, about 20 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. I have a pan up underneath here, so in case we have any leakage, maybe should have put them on that pan, but that's okay. Everything will be fine. Everything's perfectly fine. Look at that little golf ball pan. Isn't that cute? All right, I hear you. I hear you. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. We got some salmon something going on there. Wow! Look at those babies. Sizzling and drizzling. They did not overflow into the pan. They just, wow! They're fabulous for baked patties. So, should we let them rest? Look at these just a sizzling down in there. There'll be another test to get them out. But look at that. Look at that coming out. Coming out all by itself. Wow. All right, I'm gonna let these sit. You see I'm ready. I have some hot sauce, some ketchup. We'll be back. Alrighty then, folks. We did our cook in our 125-year-old pans. I'm going to throw some before and after pictures on these pans. I don't believe that I've ever done that on this gilly. Can't find anything on the golf ball. I think I had the golf ball out here one time, but anyway, our 125-year-old pans on our 500th video for old man with a pan. It's a great day. But we have one more thing we have to do, and then we're gonna shut her down here. We're gonna taste this. We're gonna taste it and see what we did. We know what the recipe is. Nothing is sticking in the bottom of the well. So we're gonna taste it. I know, you can't see it. Oh well. You're gonna have to make it yourself. Look at the inside. I'll get some more pics of this inside so y'all can make sure, but it's just flaky salmon. You can see the veggies in there. Wow. Salmon patties, salmon croquettes, salmon cakes. Either way, it's salmon. Lots of salmon in there. Y'all can't see my face here right now, but I am smiling the way that this pan is releasing this salmon. Oh, that was just a loose piece, so we can't even count that against us. No, and I promise I didn't touch these. I didn't come in here and pick them apart or anything earlier. Just one of them I did right there, but not these. Even a golf ball comes out Coming out perfect. Let me set these over here so I can show you what we got. Look at that. That's cooking in cast iron. Wow.